Hey guys, it's your boy Wallace. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited to have you here today. If you guys don't know me by now, I'm the Nomad Recruiter. I help people make placements and travel the world for a living. They do call me the guy that's always in another country. So guys, let's jump straight into it. A lot of you are thinking about starting a cybersecurity recruiting or staffing agency, and I want to teach you how to do it. If you guys are looking to start your agency or you need a coach and mentor, I do have an academy called nomadrecruiters.com. You can check out the links below. And I do have a couple products that can help you get started with some of my ebooks, my master classes, my workshops, or if you want to book a call and get started and learn how to find clients as soon as possible, take action, guys. Life is short. So let's jump straight into it. Talking about this cybersecurity agency, okay? So listen, a lot of people are looking for new and hot niches to specialize in the recruiting and staffing space, and cybersecurity is becoming one of those niches at the end of the day. So one of the things you're going to need starting off is, of course, a business account. Guys, I do recommend and encourage you to get with a smaller bank or a mid-sized bank, a bank that supports entrepreneurs and small to medium-sized businesses, as you may need to get some loans from them in the future. Now, next you're going to need, of course, is a business name. I would try to make sure that your name and of your company, make sure it sounds like a recruiting or staffing agency, or at least have the words recruitment, recruiting, or staffing in the company in the title of your business. Cybersecurity recruiting solutions, or cybersecurity solutions recruitment, or whatever you come up with, as well. But I'd rather your agency sounds like a recruitment and staff agency versus it sounding like a consultant company. Does that make sense? You want an employee to be able to identify who you are and what purpose you can provide them and how you can better serve them as well. So that's going to be extremely important. Of course, you want to get your business registered, guys. You want to get your EIN. You can easily look those things up on YouTube to do that. And you need to register your business as well. So you want to get your articles of organizations. And then you want to get a website. All right, guys. So you want to get a website going for you as well. Now, with your website, I would just say that to make sure that it's relatable to your niche. So if you're specializing in the cybersecurity space, you want to have like tech blogs, you want to have services about us, what you can provide, and a job board if it's within your means and also within your budget at the end of the day. Sorry, guys, I'm having my coffee right now. All right, so it's going to be important to get that website. Now, the reason that you have a website with your recruiting agency, because you want to establish credibility. When you are reaching out to clients and when you're talking to clients about who you are, they're going to be looking you up. And we are asking these clients to pay us 20, 40, $50,000 per hire. So you want to make sure we look established and we look credible as we're trying to brand ourselves as an agency as well. You're going to need to know how to utilize your network as well. And you're going to also, it's going to be important for you to niche down within the cyberspace. Now, within cybersecurity, there are multiple different positions and roles. You can't specialize with cybersecurity overall, but I would encourage you to more so narrow it down to a position within cybersecurity and then work your way up from that area and from that space as well. The cybersecurity space is growing all across the world. Of course, majority of my students are from America, but I have students in Australia, UK, Dubai, South America, Europe, Eastern Europe, you name it, Africa as well, Canada. So a lot of my students do also recruit in America, and they also recruit in their countries as well. So the cybersecurity space is overall just growing across the board and across, across the line. Now, going into, when people hear cybersecurity, often they only think about reaching out to tech companies. And I don't know why is that, because cybersecurity is growing within the educational school system, is growing within the sales worlds, the selling and marketing worlds, is growing within the law offices, the hospitals as well. There are cybersecurity roles that are going to be in every different niche that you can think of as you're trying to reach out and find clients in that space. It's a really, really hot niche right now, and it's still one of those areas that are growing. As I read recently somewhere, I think it was Texas, was expecting over 5 million cybersecurity jobs over the next 2 to 5 years. As it continued to be a hot demanding job, that's going to be growing. Potentially as well, going to be growing online remotely, besides just on site as well. Okay, guys. So when you're getting your agency off the ground, it's going to be important to understand how to qualify candidates as well. Now, you need to understand what type of questions you want to be asking these candidates. Questions like, where are you currently located? Because you want to make sure that the candidate you're speaking with is and located in the same state as your employer. You want to make sure you understand their salary expectations because you don't want to be working with someone who's not within your budget and not within your means as well, because you could be wasting a lot of time. Hypothetically, your client has 150K in the package, that's their max out budget, and your candidate wants over 200 grand. Well, you're wasting people's time unless you can convince your candidate to meet you in between. But often, when a candidate is so far from the budget, it most likely means that they already are pretty close to that salary. So hypothetically, if your client is only paying 150K, your candidate's asked for 200K, there's a strong possibility that your candidate may already be on 185 or 190. And what do you do in those situations? Sometimes you do find candidates willing to take a lower pay cut, but it could be often seen as a red flag. Okay. And it's a red flag from the candidate because often you do not see people, you know, downgrade their salaries unless they're about to get fired. They got fired already, or it's something that they're not telling you that's probably on their background check as well. So you just have to be, curious and keep an open mind when you are qualifying your candidates as well. It's important to understand, build your resume editing skills as well. You are going to get a lot of resumes and cover letters, mostly resumes that you need to focus on making sure that you tailor them to the job description niche. And that's going to be important as well when you're trying to get resumes in front of clients. You're going to need a business development strategy, multiple strategies. You cannot just rely on one business development strategy to show you how to find clients. BD is going to be very important because if you don't have jobs, you don't have a business. And often, that's what I teach inside of my Nomad Recruiters Academy program. I show people how to find clients consistently at the end of the day with the strategies that I use. So I think that's going to be important for you as well. So you're going to have to also do market research as well. When you start your cybersecurity company, you want to make sure you're looking at locations that's going to benefit you and benefit your agency as you get it off through the ground. There's so many things you're going to need. You're going to need with your cybersecurity company, but it's also important to understand that there's two worlds that you can dabble into. You have the recruiting world, you have the staffing world. Recruiting focuses on full-time, direct hire, permanent positions. Staffing focuses on contract, temporary hire roles as well. Often we see people get into the permanent direct hire space because there tends to be a lot more it's just fast money. It's a one and done situations. You don't have to follow up with the candidate every day to make sure they're showing up to work. You don't have to try to replace the role every 3 6 months if your candidate leaves. But there's huge advantages on the staffing side because it's residual income. So you're making money every day that candidate goes to work. You're making money every day that candidate sleeps. Now, how does commission works as well? So we charge a base salary off the base a percentage off of the base salary. So hypothetically, if I'm working on a cybersecurity position and I request 20% from my client on a $200,000 salary, my commission payout would be $40,000. And often that's paid within 15, 30 days, unless you're doing retained recruitment where you could get paid a third of it up front, which is a whole nother topic that I'll have to talk about in another video as well. So there's a lot of ways that you can make money, or on the staffing side, you'll be getting a daily fee that the client would be paying you and you would be paying the candidate as well. So there's so many different routes, there's so many different ways you can go about it. I do personally see a huge demand and growth for cybersecurity in the government fields across the board, not just America, but United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and so many other places. I see a lot of areas growing within the cybersecurity space as well. It's gonna be really amazing. It's gonna be beautiful as well. You're gonna have to also make sure you get a LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn for recruiters, it's like our TikTok, it's our branding, it's how people find us, and it's gonna be important that you be active. I do encourage you to create a LinkedIn page. I do encourage you to create a LinkedIn company profile page as well, and start creating a community around your niche to start building your network more and more. You're going to need software tools as well. There are a lot of software tools out there. So, some of the software tools that I do recommend my students to use, one is going to be a tool called Lucia and Contact Out, Swordfish.ai. And these are platforms that usually gives you like names, they give you numbers. These are some of the software tools I'm recommending you guys. I have maybe 15 or 20 more inside the program, inside the course. But but these are just some of the things I give away for free. I'm giving you some gems so you guys can take some action and try to get started. But these are some platforms that offer free names and free numbers. I've heard good reviews about them as well. But there also are a lot of similar tools out there that can assist you. You will eventually need an ATS and a CRM, but these are not things that I would say are the most important starting off, because I don't want you wasting capital if the demand is not there with your candidates and your clients as well. So that's going to be extremely important. Your first goal should be is making money at the end of the day. Do not get into this business just, oh, you want to hire 100 people, you want 100 jobs. This is not the goal when you're getting into my space of recruiting. I always encourage my students, make the first deal. Just make the first deal. It don't matter how much it is, but just start bringing in some money and some capital into the business. Then you can start making more plans and start targeting more goals around your niche and around your area of what you want to do with your agency. But so it's important to understand what type of software tools you're going to need. Some recruiters do use, when it comes to sourcing and trying to find candidates and even clients, they use platforms like Indeed, Career Builder, Dice, Monster, and etc. Depending on where you're recruiting at, what country you may live in or what city you may live in, I would encourage you to go with what websites are most popular in that area, in that location. So if you live somewhere where Career Builder is a much more popular than Indeed, I would, use Career Builder over Indeed, and then test it out. You have to test out what's working and what's not working, and even have to test out strategies with your software tools. Still to this day, I'm always testing out what software tools and what strategies can benefit me more than others, or what days, what times, what locations respond better to these software tools as well. So it's important that you understand that and that you learn that as well. The cybersecurity space is growing, 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 and the network of that community is growing even better, especially if you are someone that's not afraid to put yourself out there at the end of the day. There's so many meetups, there's so many events and conferences as well. The opportunities are endless. And I always tell people, I always ask people, when's the last time you referred a friend to a job? And what if I told you you would have made $20,000 just for sending over that friend? And that's what it's like in our world, where we get paid to send over a resume, where you can make 20, 40 grand, 60,000, depending on how many deals you close and what you negotiate with your clients. So the sky's the limit when it comes to getting your cybersecurity agency off of the ground. Listen, guys, my name is Aijalon Wallace. I'm the Nomad Recruiter. You guys know my slogan is no Lambos, there's no man just here. But if you're looking to get your staffing and recruiting agency off of the ground, I want to help you scale to 6 or 7 figures. Like a lot of my students, you guys can check out my testimonials. I use real names, real people at the end of the day. And most importantly, I'm always here. I'm showing up. Listen, guys, if you love this content, I need you to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I can't wait to see you soon. Thanks again, guys.